Hello Pips. This is, well, what can we say about this? This is where the whole idea of this series come in, because of this truck. Right, where do we start? It's not a Tamiya chassis. The chassis is made by, well, I don't know, made by, but I bought it. It's somewhere in China or Japan. The only reference I've got is WTB car. WTBCAR. Whether that's the manufacturer or just the seller, I don't know. It's to compare it with anything I've seen recently would be with KK Truck Store do similar kinds. It's got holes all over the place, so you can just add loads of stuff. It is a 8x4. The chassis is designed for an 8x4. This back is from LESU. Sliding fifth wheel is KK Truck Store. Rear lights are off of a Tamiya. Cab is a Tamiya. Wheels are aluminium, just aftermarket, whatever. Obviously that's a Mercedes exhaust box with the MFU control in it. Like I said, we'll just start. The axles are Tamiya. That's my own. I made that just to cover up all the steering mechanism that's inside. I've put the trailer plug in the centre plate there because there's nowhere there, obviously. Added a couple of lights to this as reverse lights come working lights, because this don't have lights on it, and obviously it blocks everything. The steering link is, I believe, from KK Truck Store. Buy quite a bit from KK Truck Store. And I do buy it. I'm not sponsored. It's not they're not giving it to me. It's all bought. Which is a nice linkage to do the steering. Works it all out for you. You just have to fit it all. Those that follow my channel will know this is called Aggro, because the amount of bloody aggro I had building it. From start to finish it was 12 months. Obviously that wasn't working on it every day, because at some point I did leave it for a couple of months because it was doing my head in. The chassis came with no instructions at all, so I had to figure out how everything went, where it went, and pretty much built it like that. It is accurate, more accurate to a real chassis, as in it's a lot wider at the front than it is at the back. Yeah, it was a bit of a pain. The rear light brackets that come with it was, I've seen paper that was thicker, they was crap, hence why I've put these ones on. Tamiya ones I've had to adapt, and The astute amongst you will notice they're upside down, but that's how I had to fit them. What else? What else? What else? This is very nice, but it was bloody expensive. Being LESU, it's all aluminium and stainless steel, but it was seriously expensive. Battery goes in that one. There's nothing in that one, I guess you could. You'd have to drill an hole or something if you wanted to put anything in there, but I guess you could if you wanted to. Beacon is just a generic beacon off of eBay, but stripped down and painted. As you can see, there's two tones of blue on here, just to be different. There is a set of lights in the bottom here that do a number of things. Sweep like Knight Rider, or let me show you, that'll be the easiest way. Right, so we have obviously the beacon on the top. We have the lights along the bottom. You have to program them on the board, so that's all they do, because that's all they're programmed to do. You can have different settings for different ways they flash, but I wanted it like that. I thought it goes nice in between each one. And then it's standard MFC lights. Nope. I'm doing something wrong. Oh, there you go. Basic lights, basically. Don't know why I went with orange at the bottom. Can't remember why. Just something different, I think. Just as orange, just bottom. Just, like I say, just to be something different. I can't remember the backlights. Nope. Unless they come on in reverse, I think. Nope. No. Can't remember how they turned on. I'll figure it out at one point. It's all on bloody... Unless they ain't even wired up. Which, knowing me, probably isn't. Oh no, I can see the plug. They're not even wired up. I must have just put them out of a show. Or was going to wire them up and never got round to it. But not the end of the world. Obviously backlights are just normal. pretty much it really. Like I say, I don't name many trucks. I've named 2. This was the first one I named, Aggro, because it was pure aggro. Trying to get different makes to fit different things, different makes basically. Obviously this was easy, just screws on. But when it comes to like this, the steering linkage, they make it for their chassis and they make it for a Tamiya chassis. So I thought, it's not a Tamiya chassis, I'll go for theirs. It will make it easier. I still had to adapt it slightly to fit this chassis. But it fit, it works, it's good. The downside, I think, because it's so stiff, I don't very often put shocks on. I put shocks in here with some beefier springs to try and keep these wheels down, because there's not a lot of suspension in. Well, you know what the front's like. This one's just the same because it's the same suspension. So you hit a bump, tends to lift that off. I've packed the diffs full of grease to stiffen them up, give a little bit extra. So it's not locked, but it's semi-locked if you like. And like I say, I'll put some beefier springs in the shocks to try and push them down all the time. And it works after a lot of trial and error and mucking about. If you've seen the video, you see it works, it drives really nice. It's quite weighty because of the chassis and everything. I did toy with the ideas of putting metal axles on this one, but they're a lot of expense, and as you see on another one coming up, there's a blue Scania they're on, they don't quite fit. They're too wide. They're meant to be a direct replacement, but clearly not. They are a bit wider. They're nice, but they are a little bit wider. I don't know what else I can tell you on this one. That's pretty much it. It's this, well, what I can tell you is I built a what was it? To start with, it was a 10x4, then it became a 10x6 Scania, the Mahusif heavy haul truck, which this back was on. I bought this back just for that, and I loved it. Apart from driving it, it never drove well. It went in a straight line, lovely, but it hated corners. The back just used to scuff round all the time because of the 2 front steering and then 3 drive axles. It used to just, it didn't look natural. I did want to do a rear steer. I could get it to work, but at the time, I know now what I could do to sort it out, but at the time I wasn't sure. And with the 3 servos for the steering and everything else, the MFC kept cutting out because it was drawing too much power at once. So I had to put a rear drive axle on instead. Like I say, it worked. There are videos of it you can go back and look at. It worked. It always bugged me with the steering. It bugged me to the point where I was, right, I'm going to make a 8x4 instead. I could have just cut the end off, but I saw this chassis and thought, oh, I quite like that. So it kind of become a bit of a donor. These 4 axles are off of it, that come off of it. the MFC come off of it, which is, believe it or not, is all in that cab with the seats and the dashboard. The problem with the speaker used to come down because this is a low roof, so the speaker would drop right down low. But what I did get and fitted, and I have another one here if I can find it. You can never find anything when you actually want it. Was a Sovereign speaker. Where is it? It was on here just now. I've had a bit of a tidy up because I've had a problem. So it always happens. I have a problem, I have a tidy up, and then I can't find anything. But anyway, I can't find it. It was here. It'll turn up when I don't need it. A Sovereign speaker. It's super thin. It's up in the roof. You can't even see it. And as you heard, the sound is quite good. Unlike my chair that sounds like it's going to fall apart any second. I will get a new one day. Chair, that is. Yeah, I don't know where it is anyway. So yeah, Sovereign speaker. It's up in the roof. It's very thin. It's long, oblongy, ovally. Does the job perfect. Actually, in this and my white low roof scanner, I put the same speaker in because it is so good. If it doesn't sound much different to the Tamiya one, if anything, I think it sounds a little bit better personally. But yeah, I ain't got a clue where it is. I moved it just now. Anyway, I'm waffling on, so that's the end of this video. I think as a request I've had the Black Scania 6x2 rear steer, front and rear steer obviously, will be the next video. So I'm not sure how long you have to wait for it, but that will be the next one. So I'll see you on that one.